On the other side of these mountains lies an unknown world. To reach it, our party set out with a well-organized expedition to attack the snowy passes and icy peaks that guard this unknown world from the rest of the globe. It was hard work climbing these frozen heights. But quickly forgotten as we reached the other side, soon to leave the snow and ice behind us. Our hazardous journey was well worth the trouble, for we realized we were nearing the object of our quest. All our hardships, all our troubles were behind us as we advanced with our beasts of burden through the strata of the rocky passes below. For there before us, shimmering in the sunlight, lay that mystifying, incomprehensible city of an unknown world, Shangri-La, legendary city of Tibet. It was an awesome and impressive sight. Shangri-La, who has not heard of it? Of the strange tales that a few daring travelers have brought back from its mysterious depths. Of the Lama, the living Buddha, who lives there secret and remote, revered and worshipped by the millions of Buddhists who populate the continent of Asia. At the foot of this holy city lies the magnificent marble tombs of the former Dalai Lamas, revealing in their simplicity of beauty an architecture unrivaled anywhere. Reaching the holy city, we were pleasantly surprised. The natives, though astonished at our appearance, greeted us cordially, crowding the streets and staring at the strangers from the outside world. We were lucky. We had arrived on a fete day. Men, quaintly dressed, thronged the streets, ringing bells. The festivities were about to start. The crowd gathered, sitting everywhere and anywhere, waiting for the main event, which was to be a wrestling match. Yes, there were lots of girls. The wrestling match started in due course. 4 contenders from various parts of the country were matched for the championship of Tibet. The onlookers took it pretty casually, even the girls, some of whom were quite pretty. The Tibetans' idea of a corps de ballet was the next number. There were ceremonial dances, colorful and picturesque, danced to a weird medley of instruments. After this followed preparations for the main event of the day. The great dignitaries that came from all parts of the land gathering together preliminary to their walk through the city en route to the abode of the Dalai Lama, the living Buddha, who upon that day was to be looked upon by a privileged few. On all sides, trumpet blowers blared forth the approaching event. Then the procession began, watched by reverential crowds. More horn blowers, dancers, men in queer masks. final ceremony took place in the great courtyard of the Dalai Lama's house, where offerings were made to the Holy One, and humble obeisance and devotion and adoration. Now all is suppressed excitement. The time has come when men will be allowed to look upon the mysterious being who rules Tibet for the term of his natural life. The Dalai Lama, the living Buddha, who sits upon his throne, a being unknown to the millions who worship him. The living Buddha, an almighty, far-seeing, powerful ruler of a race and a religion, the Dalai Lama of Shangri-La. Once he turned and looked fiercely. I felt very uneasy, so we lowered the camera. The Viceroy who governs in the name of the ruler. Our quest finished, and back again in the hot and arid region in the Gobi Desert, gave one last look at the fierce and rugged range which guards the unknown world of Tibet. Then, with alarm, noticed that the wind was rising. It looked like the scourge of the desert was about to strike us, a sandstorm. And in a few moments it did, enveloping the camp. Only those who have traveled in the desert are able to realize the discomfort and hardships incurred in a sandstorm. One can scarcely breathe. It suffocates men and animals alike. As the storm subsided, we started for home and more comfortable quarters. It was a difficult and dangerous trip, but it had been worth it, for we saw and actually photographed the living Buddha.